Marcellus, I'll start with you. I know you're friends, and Magic's an icon. Has Magic damaged his legacy with this move?
No, he hasn't. Look, I have high likability for Magic Johnson. You already know that. Our friendship, wrote the foreword for my book. I mean, a guy I look up to, but I can be objective about this. You got to know the totality of his legacy to know where this fits in terms of his legacy. His success has not been linear. If you talk about top brands as an athlete to mogul that we've seen in sports history, it's him, Michael Jordan, Roger Staubach. Like, those are the three who have taken it to the next level and has been able to translate their athletic endeavors into great business success. But that wasn't always linear in terms of that movement upward for Magic Johnson. Even on the court, we saw issues with him. Even off the court and his HIV, and we saw issues with him. Magic has always been a killer with a smile, and Magic has always persevered. But Magic hasn't won at everything he's done, and I think that's a part of his brand. And so to this moment, how does this damage a brand that's already saw low moments? And we always see him respond. So I take this as a case of excessive loyalty. We've all been on airplanes before, and they always tell you, in case of emergency landing, put your mask on first. Now, I've heard that with my kids. I got 3 kids here and my wife, and they said, put yours on first. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Magic got caught up in excessive loyalty when he saw the Lakers franchise spiraling out of control. And he saw Jeannie Buss, who she even thinks of Magic as a brother from another. He's not Wilt, he's not Shaq, he's not Kobe. He is Magic, the brother from another. And he saw them spiraling out of control. And he said, you know what, my loyalty to your father and to you, my sister, I'ma save you first. When I'm winning in everything in this world, but this is the one thing I can help you with. And he put his mask on the Lakers franchise first. He finally came up for air. He finally said, enough is enough, man. I got to take care of myself and get back to all the winning that I'm doing outside of this Lakers franchise. He didn't damage his legacy.
Boy, is that a tortured analogy, because I want to take that mask in this instance, and I was thinking planes too. And the Lakers right now are a plane that is spiraling, that is heading down. And yes, the air masks fell down, but there was only one of them. And Magic said, I got that.
And he's big, long
I don't know
arm.
what else you guys are going to do, but I got this. I'm good. And essentially, I agree with you, though, that I don't think that his legacy is damaged, because the legacy of Magic is an idea and a presence and an image. And whether it's because, look,
Lack of substance, yes.
He has failed at a variety of things.
Yes.
And it has not touched Magic, the idea, Magic, the presence. So, no, I don't think this is going to change anything, because we loved the way he played the game. We love the way he exuded that personality. We love that personality when we run across it, when we see it, whenever we see it. The actual actions that he takes, those are really secondary. So I don't see this really impacting what his legacy is. It's just the legacy is not what some people want to make it out to be. Like, I never expected that Magic was going to come in, whatever his intentions were, and he was going to save the day with the Lakers. From the very beginning, I thought, oh, this isn't going to work, but it's going to be fun watching.
Right.
And, you know, in a way, it has been.
Yeah.
You look at Magic's legacy, Magic is known as the smiley young guy that came in, won a national championship, came in, won a championship at the 5 position, did everything for the organization, signed a $25 million. This is his legacy, is basketball, what he accomplished on the court. Now, as far as moving into another profession, and as being an executive, it's totally different. I don't think that is going to affect what he done on the court. Yeah, you can bring that up if you are a hater and say, well, how great was Magic? People start talking about how great he was. Well, he wasn't that good at being an executive. Well, we're talking about his legacy on the court. We know Magic Johnson as the legend from what he did on the basketball court. So I don't think at the end that that's going to affect his legacy. And I understand he's I don't think that he takes criticism well. I don't think he likes to feel people talking bad about him, because he's been loved for so long. So when he's in this position and everybody is criticizing him and he's under this microscope, I don't think I know he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, and especially if he's not successful at it, I don't think he understands how to handle
front
not
runner.
be a, but there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, what's wrong
There's
with?
something wrong with being a front runner, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that.
Now, if you stay in the front.
Yeah, not if you stay in the front, right? If
Depends on how
you
long
don't
you're in
get
the front.
caught, right? If you
Yeah.
don't get caught. So I think he really just wanted to get back to being Magic Johnson, not the executive, but Magic Johnson, the legend for everybody else.
Here's a measurable. Michael Jordan, the owner. How has that hurt Michael Jordan, the businessman? Hasn't. Michael Jordan shoe sales? Hasn't. Like when you, like you said, you get out your comfort zone, you try to translate to a different endeavor. We will talk bad about you, but it won't affect the bottom line if you are one of the protected
Let me
ones.
just say this in defense of Michael Jordan. It's amazing. I was a huge Michael Jordan critic when he was a player because I was a Patriot fan. I've turned into the biggest Jordan defender here recently is because Michael Jordan has failed nowhere near as spectacularly as Magic has on several different occasions, as a coach, as a television host, as a broadcaster at ESPN, and now as an executive, where the complaint is the dude didn't even show up for work and then just called a press conference, wouldn't tell the person he works for, and then said, and threw in lines about, I really want to tweet about this and that. This, again, as a player, the guy hangs in my apartment and I have awesome memories. Post-career, there's just no substance here. There's a lot of money and a brand that's been built and protected by us in the media, but my God, he's a spectacular failure at anything outside, any of these other that require real work, just doesn't go well.
I think you got to tip his cap for trying other things, though.
Yeah.
Jordan didn't put his hand in other endeavors like, I'm going to try to be a broadcaster. Magic tried to say, hey, maybe I could do it. I got charisma. People like my smile. Oh, it didn't work.
My position, Eddie, is that self-awareness, it's not illegal to have it. I'd love to be a swimsuit model, but I have enough self-awareness. That's not my lane. And some people...
How you know? They got a Lane Bryant, don't they?
Hey,
some people have a
plus
lane.
models are in.
That's what I'm saying. That's all. Yeah,
plus ain't in.
Okay, hold on.
So, like,
on. Don't be enablers now. I mean, no. Here's the problem. I agree with experimenting, and I agree. I'm good with. You know what? I'm going to try to do a talk show host. Oh, I'm not good for that. Okay,
Try
I'm
local
good with that.
first.
I'm going broadcast, whatever. This is different. This one is different, and I don't think it's going to impact his legacy. But you hurt a brand and a franchise that you say you love. You hurt a woman that you say is your sister and that you respect and love.
Hurt?
Yeah.
Without question.
How?
Because, and it's not that he did it. It's not that he left. I think you're pulling the Band-Aid off. Eventually you're going to have to do this. It's how you did it.
That's
You
not even
just
bad.
said, hearing, you know what, we would have tears. She would have tried to convince me otherwise. Magic forgot. Jeannie, you might have a great relationship. You might view her as your sister. She's the owner of this franchise, and she reached out to you to help her to get out of this mess. And you left it in a worse place.
Oh, no. First of all, before Magic got there, did they have the best player in the world? Before Magic got there, did they have cap space to get 2 max free agents?
Nope.
They didn't have either one of those. So let's look at numbers first. He left them in a better place. Let's look at the ethics and how you treated me on your way out.
Those are possibilities.
Well, okay,
Those are not
but those are
realities.
opportunities that you didn't even have the possibility of before
Anybody
I got
could
here.
get a- could make bad trades and
I
get 'em
did
out of
it.
those
Give me
contracts.
that credit as you're going to give me my debits. Here's the debit. It's a weak moment for Magic Johnson not to talk to Jeannie before he talks to us. But everyone has been in this position before. When you're making an impossible, tortured decision, when you're like, I have to remove myself and distance myself, even if that's going to be perceived as weak, because I am not even strong enough to talk to this, to dialogue with
How about
this.
a text?
That's
How
what
about a
people
text?
do. People
No, I'm
break.
saying he didn't even do a text.
But hey, look,
I think a text would be worse if that's your.
Then holding a press conference and surprising you, telling the media first.
I'm not saying it was a strong
No,
move, but this
it
is
wasn't.
where I respect even Magic saying, I need even support and distance from making this decision. Because if I dialogue with her, I know my love for her. I love my love for the Lakers. I know what's going to happen.
about an
I'm going to
email?
walk myself right back into the
about an
situation
email?
where I don't want to be.
How about they used to have something called resignation letters. Do they still have those?
I think
in the
that's
business world?
that's the lowdown part about it, that he didn't reach out and holler.
You're
After
taking
saying
it
that
worse
it's my
than them.
sister.
You're taking it worse than them.
Oh, no,
Did you
no,
see
no.
their tweet? You see their response?
They're tweeting. That's not what they really think, man.
You ever been around Jeannie?
Twitter's a stage, man.
But
All right,
that's
press
not
release.
that's not a good look for her either.
Yeah,
and the
I
fact,
agree with
especially if you know Jeannie and you know how she is, for him to do this and put her in this position, it is so unfair. And for all of the assets that you speak of that the team has, the fact of the matter is they could have no one come out and speak on behalf of the team this year. Today, when all this came down. You know why? Because they don't know what to say. They don't know exactly what the hierarchy of control is right now. This left them so. The number of people that I texted to say, do you think that Jeannie had any inkling, any idea that this was coming? And every one of them said she had no idea. He pulled the rug on her.
I think people need to understand the Knicks used to be a proud franchise, and then just a series of events happened, and now the Knicks are a laughingstock. It can happen to the Lakers.
Oh, come on. You telling me that? I've been saying this for years.
And now Magic is a part of that.
No.
The sinking of the Lakers.
Magic, look, this is interesting about Jeannie. I don't think that she was completely caught off guard. I don't think that you expect that moment. You may not know the date, but you may know the occurrence. Magic Johnson had a meeting with Jeannie. Magic Johnson had a meeting with LeBron. In those meetings, you can hear elements that tell you I'm in an impossible situation. And in that situation, now I have a choice to make. Because I walked into a situation that I thought X. It has now changed from what he thought day one being a Lakers team president to what he is at right now. I don't think that Jeannie...
You got to anticipate change in life.
Yeah, but you also could respond to it in the moment.
But here's Marcellus, you're saying he's in an impossible situation. No. They are in an impossible situation. And he basically said, we are in an impossible situation, I'm out.
And he told you he was going to do that.
He did say that at the
He
beginning.
said
At the very beginning. When he came in, he said, if I can't get this job done, I'm going to step down as president. He did say that.
It's not that he did it. It's how he did it.
I understand
right
that.
here, out of the blue, at the night before the end of the season.
Sometimes it just hits you.
But still,
Sometimes you just know when it is.
I got to
It's
look
that
at the
time.
bigger. I got to look at the bigger picture and consider what I'm doing.
And you were talking
around
about him making him be a part of the organization going down and sinking. He's put him in a position to where he's going to have his handprints on that if they are able to land some guys and then they be successful. Right. You could look back and like, oh, he was a part of their ascension as well.
Let's not always deal in hypotheticals.
That's the real that they got an opportunity to do. You need the opportunities.
Let's try to deal in real. If Magic Johnson thought this offseason was going to be successful, do you think he would have done that yesterday? I mean, come on.
Yeah, you know why? You know why? What if, you don't want to deal in hypotheticals, but no one was in that room. So here's a scenario, since you don't want to go hypothetical, let's be synonymous. What if they told you, hey, this future, power to you, keys to you, Magic. However, we want to keep Luke Walton. Oh, well, I want to go into the future and to get these free agents, and I don't want Luke Walton.
I don't think Luke Walton can attract these free agents.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, I have the power. Same thing happened with the Knicks. You hire him, and then you tell Phil Jackson you have full control, and the first thing he wants to do is fire the GM, and Dolan says, don't do that. And then, so where's full power really being exercised in this situation? You don't know what he was presented with.
I get it, but when you call someone your sister, and then you stand here as you're quitting on her without telling her, and you say, I was always someone she could trust. I was in her corner. I'm just telling you, when I start calling people my sister and brothers, and I got sisters and brothers, you're not getting me up out of the foxhole just because things have gotten tough. I just don't respect it.